Hello, I'm Lucine Navasardian, and I will be talking to you today about sponsorship licenses in UK.
What is a sponsor license?
A sponsor license is what allows a business registered in UK to bring overseas worker to UK, and this can be an important tool in a business's arsenal in developing the business, considering that after Brexit, European workers no longer have free access to UK.
Who can get a sponsor license?
Sponsor license can be obtained by any business that is registered in UK and trading. They will need to prove that they are a genuine business. They will also need to show that they have an HR system that will allow the business to be compliant with the requirements for sponsors, namely their duties, the sponsor duties. They will need to prove that they have a need for the sponsor license. This means that they will need to show why the sponsor license is needed. And another aspect would be proving that the vacancy is a genuine vacancy, the vacancy that they are looking to cover with a sponsor license. One thing that we get asked quite often is whether there are minimum requirements in respect of how long the business has been operating or in respect of the profits of the business before a business can access a sponsor license. The answer is always no, there are no such requirements. Obviously, for a business that has been around for a very long time, that has big profits or has many employees, it's going to be much easier to obtain the sponsorship license. However, this doesn't mean that newly established businesses, startups who are just developing their business, it's not going to be possible to access sponsorship license and therefore have access to international labor market. For instance, very recently, we had a case where a company that was established just mere months before coming to us, it was an IT company. They were developing a product, a very interesting product. So they approached us because they were in dire need of bringing workers from overseas. And we have managed to work with them very closely to successfully develop this HR system that they needed to have to show to the Home Office that this is indeed, even though the company was so new and there weren't any other employees in the company, we were able to show that the promise of the business and that this was a genuine business, this was a strong business, or rather a business that would develop strongly. And we were successful in getting them a sponsor license.
How does one become a sponsor?
To become a sponsor, you need to make an application to the Home Office. This is an online application and it needs to be followed very shortly with evidence and information that Home Office is requiring from potential sponsors. Therefore, preparation is very, very important. So you need to be ready before the application is made. The application itself is pretty simple. However, the evidence that needs to follow this application can be complex sometimes, depending on the business's circumstances. Therefore, everything should be ready before this application is attempted. What we do for the businesses, we work with them quite closely to understand their needs for the license, to explain their duties following grant of the license, and to make sure that we are able to show to the Home Office that this business not only meets all the requirements to become a sponsor, but has an HR system in place that will allow them to keep to the compliance of being a sponsor, meeting the mandatory requirements.